We should be good. But I'm still waiting just in case.
Nice. Well, we could talk about that in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Because we could start the podcast.
Let's do it.
Praise the Run, episode 27. I'm MrBenShow.
Woohoo.
That's me. This is Patrick.
Me.
My co-host. It's been a couple weeks, and I felt like shit for most of it, but you went on vacation.
I went on kind of like a vacation, yeah. I guess it was a vacation, technically.
You're like...
I did go to another state and see things.
Right.
I wasn't on like any white sandy beaches or anything. But,
no, but you weren't on tour.
I was, the
last time we took a week
That's
break.
true. Right, it was completely work-free. Besides the driving, I really didn't do squat. I just ate a bunch of fried food, a lot of Waffle House. There's this place called Cookout that I never heard of. Apparently it's a chain down there.
It's a chain, yeah.
And I live down there, so it's newer than when I lived down there, but older than... It's like 5 or 6 years old now, maybe. But it's cool. There's tons of different stuff. It's kind of like
Where did you
Del
go?
Taco. I went to South Carolina.
Okay.
But we stopped.
I didn't hear if you said it or not.
No, not here. Just earlier, yeah. Yeah, South Carolina, yeah. But we, I made sure we stopped at Buc-ee's. We stopped at south of the border. We stopped at Waffle House.
Oh, yeah.
That cookout place, which is just kind of like Del Taco, but more southern.
Yeah.
Like it has like...
It's all like
a lot of
food.
like... Yeah, it's a lot of like southern food and stuff, but it's like combos of that. Like you can get a hot dog and a quesadilla and onion rings for like $8 or something. Like it's so cheap for like 3 meals worth of food, and then you get a huge old thing of sweet tea, or you can get a pitcher of sweet tea, which of course that's my weakness.
64 ounce.
So I was like, I'm getting a whole fucking jug of this shit, fucking sweet tea'd up.
And Buc-ee's as well.
Buc-ee's was so good. We got there at like 7 a.m, and they were already cooking, like short rib and stuff, like brisket. I got a brisket burrito at 7:30. That was great, dude. I was like, this is the best road trip.
Right, because they're smoking that stuff overnight.
All night.
Like right
all
in the morning
time.
is right when they start cutting and stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, I got that perfect timing. Got a little Buc-ee's. We got a lot of Buc-ee merch actually. We each got a Buc-ee hat, a sweater. I got a little rubber duck because I got to go to my collection. A little Buc-ee's duck, Bucky Ducky. So
I'd be wearing Buc-ee's gear all the time.
I have been probably the last week I've had either a hoodie or a beanie or something Buc-ee's related.
They're good. They're good clothes. Like
they're good quality. Yeah,
they're decent. Hell yeah, that's exciting. I felt like shit this week. I was under the weather for most of it, so like videos haven't came out really at all. I got like, I thought it was allergies, and then I got like smacked with the cold.
Yeah.
And now the cold part is gone, but like I have like cuts on the inside of my nose because I've been blowing and like wiping my nose so hard.
That's shitty.
And now it's stuffy because of it still. So like blowing my nose and stuff has been gnarly. But
so you haven't even got to play any games really, huh?
No, but when I was feeling sick, I did watch Kyle Bossman, ex-EC Allies, play through Jedi Survivor.
Oh, okay.
The second one.
Yeah.
I assume it controls just like the first one. I did find it a lot more enjoyable than the first one.
That's good.
At least like watching it through, like story-wise, it's just paced better, even though it's a lot more open and there's a lot more shit to do. Like the shit to do is more interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot more like side quests and helping people out. You find people throughout the worlds and like you bring them all to a hub town rather than the ship in the first game.
Yeah.
And with that town, you have like different, buildings and stuff. And the big thing in that town is that Grease is running a cantina, and you're trying to get people to come back to the cantina. And there's like a side quest to get like a DJ and like.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Like and like other droids or like there's a tabletop game in there that's like a tactics-based game, and then
neat.
there's a side quest to beat all those people, and you collect different opponents through that game. And that has a cool mechanic where there was the BD1 scans in the first game, right? But there wasn't, like, other than encyclopedic knowledge of the world around you, like, there wasn't really more of a tangible reason to scan things.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Just reading a bunch.
Right, and you get some XP, I think. I'm pretty sure you get, like, a little XP for it. But other than that, it was just extra stuff. In this game, every single enemy you scan is basically a trading card for this tactics game.
Oh, okay.
And it turns into like a Gwent style.
That's kind of cool.
Trading card, even the bosses and stuff like that.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. So there's like a collection element to that where like you got to make sure you scan every single enemy so you have your holo tactics cards like completed and everything. There's a lot more traversing back to planets and stuff and finding secret bosses and areas and stuff.
Nice.
I would say on the boss front though, a lot of it's a lot more disappointing. I think with the first one that because it being the first one introducing enemy types and stuff, it was, everything felt new. Like, it was the first time that I was fighting, a Tauntaun in that way. Or, like, one of the hard bosses that he fought from the first game that gave him a tough time for, like, it was like a 2-hour stretch he was fighting this boss. It's called Ogdo Bogdo or something like that.
Okay.
And it was this giant alligator thing. But these are bosses from the first game.
Yeah.
And that it felt new and exciting then, but it was maybe I can even pull up Jedi Survivor while we're talking about it. Everything felt new and exciting then, but now it felt like old hat.
Yeah. Which
is a bummer because there's secret bosses in the game that are just like different versions of enemies that you would fight in the first game that didn't appear in the main quest of the second game. Okay. Or in the second game.
Right.
But and stuff like that. Spoilers, there's another Vader fight. There's a twist to it, which makes it kind of cool. But that was the big exciting fight, it felt like, of the game.
Yeah.
And then there was like one more like big baddie fight, which was the big fight at the end of the game. But everything else, boss-wise, felt minimal.
Yeah.
Like
you're just redoing things.
Right. And none of it had the gravitas of like, this game is a Souls-like, but it didn't feel like a Souls-like anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it lost that edge because nothing felt new, or like nothing felt untreaded. Almost like everything felt the same. The bounty hunter fights are the same. Like,
oh really?
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, it might be a new bounty hunter. Like, there's a whole side quest of like hunting down these different types of bounty hunters, but they're all, they all have jetpacks and blasters.
Right.
And then there's one twist on that where they do like an homage to the Dark Souls 2 Gank Squad, which is a group of 3 guys in a cave. Yeah. And they all have different weapon types, and they all gang up on you at once.
Oh, nice.
So you go into a cave, and there's 3 bounty hunters in there, and they all have lightsabers instead of blasters. I mean, they have a couple of them one has a blaster, I think one has a shield, and one has a double blade.
Oh, weird.
And then they all gang up at you at once, and that's cool. That's cute. The Gang Squad's cute. That's a good homage, but there's not like I don't know. It didn't feel as big as the first one, even though the worlds were bigger.
Interesting.
Like, even your hub world is like this giant thing where like every single main quest you go on, you're getting new abilities and stuff, and you go back to the hub world, and then because of that, there's more areas in the hub world to discover, and then the more area of discovered in the main hub world progresses the main quest.
Branches
as well.
everything out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds cool.
Yeah, all of that's super satisfying. I think the game is great. I just the boss front is probably the least exciting thing. Not to say the bosses are bad either. The bosses are great, but they didn't feel like anything new.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, that might be just an issue because like you can only make so much new. Because there's so much lore and existence already in that world.
Right.
Like, how much... Like, you can't make too much new. Or then the, like, fans are going to be like, well, where did this creature even come from? Or whatever. Like,
right.
So I feel like that may even just be an issue with the universe they chose to...
Yeah.
Maybe.
It
know.
wouldn't even have to be creature fights. Like, in the first game, there was, like, the Inquisitors. And, like, the sisters that you're fighting and stuff that are all like Jedi, ex-Jedi, and stuff like that. There wasn't really any of those types of fights in these games.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There was like a lack of just human or just enemies like that.
Yeah.
Almost. Like, there is one of the leading bad guys, his name is Dagon. I'm pretty sure that's his name. It's something like that. He has like the beginning fight, the big boss fight. It's basically like this is your skill barrier, the Genichiro of the game.
Yeah.
For you to understand, and like that fight was cool, but like you don't kill him in that fight. Which is another thing this game does that I don't like.
Yeah.
Because it's so cinematic as well. The fights that you are fighting these humanoid characters, because they are the main plot points and stuff of this game.
Yeah.
It does a lot of you're not fully taking down these people, or you are getting ripped out of the fight like every fourth of a health bar to have like a cutscene in the middle of the fight.
Right. We'll see you in an hour. Yeah.
Not even we'll see you in an hour, but like the Vader fight is a great one to say where like you're fighting him and then like shit around you gets caught on fire. But it doesn't catch on fire while you're fighting him. It stops the whole fight and starts a cutscene of you like bouncing lightsabers, and then shit gets caught on fire around you.
And then you gotta basically like re-square up.
Yeah, and then he starts force pushing books. Or no, the bookcase that's behind him falls on top of him, and then he force pushes all of them. And then now that's your implication that he's gonna start throwing books at you.
Yeah.
And
which could have just as easily been intertwined in the battle.
Right. And if it was a Souls game, it would have all taken place naturally.
Right, that would have been just phase 2 or something.
Right.
It would have just,
Yeah, it wouldn't have. I mean, like, Souls, like, do the halfway point cutscene sometimes, but it's not every fight.
Yeah, and usually it's more... like, I mean, like, you don't necessarily know there's going to be a phase 2, but, like, from what it seems more of a surprise in the Star Wars one, whereas, like, the way you're describing it, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not even a surprise, it's just not necessary. Like, the ones that make sense for Souls is, like, in Elden Ring, for instance, the Godric fight.
Yeah.
Like, Godric has a monologue in the middle of the fight after you guys like have a huge distance apart, and then he cuts off his arm and then sticks it in a dragon.
Right.
Like, that makes sense. You you're not gonna be wailing on them in the middle of that kind of
For
thing.
sure, yeah.
In Star Wars, like, it's mid lightsaber clashes, and then it'll be like, oh, cutscene break.
Right, that's what I mean. It's not even like you knocked his bar all the way down, and then it like started a new life bar. You were just like 80% done, and then
and
that's
then
weird. Yeah,
and it'll be a quarter of the health bar, and then that's 2 minutes of gameplay, let's say.
Yeah,
and then it'll do that cutscene, and then we'll do another quarter of the health bar, and then it'll start another cutscene.
That just ruins all the momentum. That you have for the fight. I don't want to square up to the same guy.
Right, and for the big fights that I'm interested in, these gigantic, not even gigantic, but these duels that you're having rather than like a monster, for it to just be all of those duel fights be riddled with those surprise cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah, because you're in a duel. You want that continuous back and forth, to the end or whatever. Yeah.
And by the time that, I guess it wasn't surprising by the time Vader comes around, because you fought two other humanoid bosses by that point. Yeah. And they were both riddled with those cutscenes. So that's like weird. You go into that Vader fight and you're like, oh, okay, well, it's gonna be ruined by.
It's not like the game already doesn't have enough cutscenes.
Right.
Like the game is very much a giant cutscene. Yeah. Between regular action spots. I think the fighting could have at least.
Right. For a game that's giving you like trying to do all of this like world building and like contextual storytelling within the world.
Yeah, all this lore and stuff.
Showers you with cutscenes instead of letting you just figure it out. Right. And like,
which is crazy because that's really like more or less what Star Wars is like they kind of give you the basis and then you piece together the lore and stuff as you watch the movies.
Right. Like, we just had a cutscene, and then he sat down at a thing, and then we had another cutscene. Yeah. And there was no gameplay that happened there. Why are we having another lore dump? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that seems It seems like a lot. I mean, I'm sure, like, the people that are in it for that love it, but... Right. As a gamer... It doesn't sound like a game.
And I fell off the first one because of this kind of stuff, along with the many technical issues. I had just started the YouTube channel of gaming stuff, and it was... I mean, this game is definitely held together a lot better now. But that first game, you'd fall through the floor, enemies were T-posing, like, shit wasn't loading properly, animations would stutter, parry window, oh, there's a bug right there.
Yeah, I was going to say,
of that,
right there.
You'd have weird stuff like that, where BD would just bop around all the time. But, I'd imagine that game's gotten patched out a lot since then. I think when I was playing that game had literally just came out.
I was watching. It might have been the first one. It could have been this. Could have been this one. The speed playthrough.
Speed run.
Speed run. Yeah, that's the word. Speed run of it. Because it might have been the first one, but like, there's so many different ways, especially like on the PC and stuff, like to glitch through walls. And, and like super jump and stuff, and so it's like.
Yeah, there's so many weird...
So easy to skip whole sections because you can just jump over a wall or something.
Right, and when you're not trying to do that and it just happens all the time, it's very frustrating.
I bet,
Especially, like, another major complaint, it's a respawn game, so the first game was... This is a complaint for the first game. This game has got a lot better with it. I think there's only, like, 3 slides in the whole game.
Oh, okay.
And the first game, it's like every 5 minutes you're going down a slide and you're just
this
sliding.
Might have been the first one that I was watching.
Yeah. You're just sliding down everything, and you're doing weird platforming slide puzzles and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that was, like, a big thing. I think, like, to get to a certain part, there's, like, a creature you can ride that can walk up hills that you can't. You can only slide down them or something.
Right.
But there's, like, a way to skip that part with, like, something else.
That might be this game. I don't know. I don't remember mounts in the first game, but also, like I said, I dropped off. Probably like 14 hours in. Both of these games are 30 hours plus, by the way. So, like, watching it was definitely a lot easier, I guess, because I enjoyed who I was watching stream it. Yeah. If I think I was playing it through myself, I would have probably dropped off at the first time it ripped me out of the boss fight like that.
Yeah.
Because I knew... And from that point, it was going to be like that.
The whole time.
But a new thing with this game is that there's not mounts, but there's rideable creatures that do things across the map for you.
Yeah, it might have been this one.
Yeah, there's like you hang out onto a pterodactyl's legs and fly to different places on the map and like stuff like that. And there's rideable creatures. There's like a chocobo looking creature thing that you ride on at one point. Yeah, it was a cool game. I wouldn't say disappointing that it just felt safe. Felt very safe. There is a big twist at the end, and I don't even know if it's a twist. Yeah, you could see it from a mile away.
Yeah.
You can tell Cal is not a true Jedi at heart, and he makes some very brutal, questionable decisions throughout the game.
Yeah.
Without trying to spoil anything. And where it leaves off, I think that we're going to see a lot more of a darker game as where the story ends. I don't know if the third one will be the ending. They have said that they are working on a third one, though. But this being the sequel, the middle child of the trilogy,
right?
I think it does the thing that Star Wars does, where the middle one is the weird safe one that nobody likes, and not that people won't like people like this game. This is a great game. You should play it. And that's your Dagon character in there. He's a Jedi from the past and lives in a tank. That was like the reveal that they had on stage when they showed off the game. It was some mannequin in a floating tube of water at like the Game Awards or whatever.
That's cool.
Where it leaves off, I could see it being a lot more brutal of a game, and I think they could do more with that, with like the boss fights that I do like, and not to say I don't like the monster enemies or anything, but it was just, I don't know, it felt safe. It felt very safe. We weren't killing, a bunch of sisters like we were in the first game. The bounty hunters were all the same. It just felt like different colors of the same dude in armor.
Yeah, it's obnoxious.
Besides that one gang squad thing, and that was cool. That was contextual storytelling at its finest, because those dudes were in a cave, and they were hunting down Jedi, and they got stuck in that cave.
Nice. And
you go in that cave and find them, and they're ready to fight, and that was cool. Like
that is a nice like callback type thing.
Right, and you don't need like it's the last one of those bounty hunter fights, and it's really hard to get to, and you have to like figure out how to get to them. And yeah, that was cool. I just wish the game was filled with that kind of stuff.
Right.
And there are secret bosses, but a lot of those secret bosses are variants of monsters from either the first game or this game. It does have this weird thing of like memory battles, like which are like Jedi trials almost, which are different variations on fights, or like horde modes or anything like that. Like that Ogdo Bogdo fight, right?
Yeah.
He did that fight, it unlocks a memory. And then in that memory, it was like a trial version of that fight, but now there's 2 of them. And then other versions of the trials would be like kill 100 battle droids, or like here's 100 battle droids with like a bunch of the elites as well, and then stuff like just different stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know, that's Jedi Survivor. That's the one, not Fallen Order. Jedi Survivor. It seems okay. It's not going to be on anyone's Game of the Year list. I think this game will be forgotten. And then when the 3rd one comes out, people are like, oh yeah, the 2nd one came out. We gotta play that.
It's for the Star Wars people.
Right.
For sure.
Right. And I just think that it wasn't really even... Because a lot of the Star Wars stuff that they're focusing on is stuff that's not explored a lot, from what I understand, in the lore. A lot of this High Republic old Jedi stuff is like 500 years before what happened. Even though Cal's story takes place in the middle of Episode 3 and Episode 4, he's after Order 66. All the Jedi have basically died because of Palpatine,
right,
and the Clone Wars and everything like that. Cal has survived that. This is 5 years after that first game, and Cal is land on a planet called Kobo, which is where Grease has his cantina, and on Kobo there's a bunch of old High Republic stuff, and with that there's a whole secrets and blah blah blah, and has to do with raiders and things. And I don't know, even the bad guy of this game, he I guess was a Sith, but he wasn't a Sith. The bad guy kind of felt like wasn't out of nowhere. It was like, oh, this dude is definitely bad.
Right.
Like, he's around too much for me to not think there's something going on,
Yeah.
But, like, it just felt, like, very anticlimactic, I guess. Like, it's supposed to be a powerful, like, crazy reveal, but I don't know. It just felt, like, boring.
Yeah.
And then you do that boss fight, and you finally... That's, like, one of the only bosses you actually kill, I guess.
Oh, man.
And then after that, it's like... Yep, that was the end of the game. And you're like, oh, I guess they were really ending on that. Okay.
Oh, no.
Cool. Well, I guess we'll go around and collect more of the Holotactics cards before New Game Plus,
right. Just play that the rest of the time.
Right, go find the little bit of secrets that I didn't do, and then, yeah. But yeah, this is the reveal of Dagon, him draining the water and everything like that. And then this goes into the boss fight of, he's like, oh, they put me in this tube, and now I'm angry, and his orange lightsaber turns to red, and then he's like, I'm the dark side now, and then you fucking take him out right here.
He only has one arm?
Yeah, he only has one arm.
Oh, wow, even crazier.
He doesn't need it. He's pretty good without it, and I'm sure if you weren't a seasoned Souls player, this fight would be a lot more intense.
Yeah.
But for a Souls fight, it doesn't feel like... I don't know. It's cool, I guess. Go into it just a tiny bit. Oh, my lightsaber's red now. You gonna fight him?
No, this is just cutscenes.
Oh, is it just the cutscenes?
Yeah.
Oh, it is all cutscenes. Okay.
It's
Bummer.
The movie.
Bummer. Well, that fight is okay. It's decent, but it is like, oh well, you defeat me, and now I'm gonna run away.
Now I'm gonna disappear. Thanks.
Yeah.
Which sucks too, because he was already injured apparently coming out of the tank.
Right. Well, that's the whole reason why they put you in that tank. So that tank lore-wise is that it's a healing tube.
Oh, okay.
And
I thought he was, like, imprisoned.
he got his arm lopped off and, like, stabbed a bunch and then got shoved in the tube, and the person that put him in the tube meant to put him in the tube for a very long time. And he was trapped in there for years, and then, you know, the whole... Not that you would know, but the whole planet gets raided, and there's a whole war that happens, and then basically that whole planet just ceased to exist after. It's cool. It's an okay game. It's fine. Yeah. There's nothing too exciting about it, but there's nothing necessarily bad about it. But yeah, I didn't play any games. I didn't edit a lot of videos, unfortunately. There's a Toy Story video that came out this week, and I don't know if I put anything else out since... Maybe, I think an episode of Home Buddy came out since the last podcast we recorded. But that's okay, because we got some news to talk about. Before we end. In the episode today, we did talk about that for a bit. I'm
I didn't play that much. The only game I played was Lies of P, but only the one. Play it? Yeah, I only managed to like squeeze it in for the afternoon since I've been gone. But I just beat the one boss I was stuck on, and then was like, "Whew!" and put it away again. I like upgraded my character and was like, "All right, we'll pick this up." Yeah. Where I left, I was surprised that I beat it because I went like over a week without. I had to like figure out the buttons again, and then I was like, "All right, I'm about to just beat this guy right now." And then on my second try, I kicked his butt.
Yeah, I mean sometimes that's what you need. Like, there's plenty of Souls fights where like just walking away for a day or two, or even a week. You know, like the Demon of Hatred from Sekiro. It was definitely one of those where like I walked away for a week. And came back, and I was like, okay, I got it. Got this. Yeah, that's exciting. I want to start playing that this week. It would be nice. I need to get Game Pass, but I'm trying to figure out what the Halloween game is going to be still. We talked about that last episode, but like I'd started Resident Evil 2, and I didn't want that to be the Halloween game, because usually I would play a full game around Halloween time. Right, yeah. And Resident Evil 2's like 4 campaigns to complete it. Yeah. And one of those campaigns is probably 6 or 7 hours long, let alone 4 of them. So I got to figure out that, but I do want to get on the Lies of P train. There'll probably be some changes on the way videos come out. I used to be on a schedule where I would just play one game, and then I would just dump all those videos out as fast as I can. I'm probably going to start doing that again. Yeah. And then just whatever I record, dump all that, and then come back to it when I either am playing the rest of that game at that time or to the next game or whatever. But I feel like videos aren't getting out as fast, on top of I'm not completing as much games and stuff because of that. Yeah. Where, I do record all at once. Like, I beat Toy Story 3 all at once, but, like, that game, episode 2 just came out. Like, all of that should be out by now. Yeah. That's how I feel. So there'll be some changes to that. Speaking of changes, there's a bunch of news and a bunch of changes happening in the industry. A lot of crazy stuff over the last couple of things. We'll start with a minor one. It's not really a crazy one. This is kind of like what people were expecting, but this is probably the oldest news I have on the board. The PS5 Slim release date has been revealed by a prominent data miner and leaker. They have since announced what it looks like and everything like that. Yeah. But, it was leaked right beforehand. PlayStation is coming out with a PS5 that is going to be 30% 5% smaller is what they're saying. And the disc one is a detachable disc drive. Like we had talked about that a while ago, where they were going to do detachable disc drives, but what it seemed like it was going to be like a USB-C thing. This seems proprietary because it like fits still as a part of like it just looks like they cut a PS5 in half and put like a layer of black tape around it to like make it module.
Right.
So like rather than the plates being 2 plates that go around, they're 4 separate plates now, and one of those bottom plates is the disk drive. There's a diskless model. It's $50 more expensive now. There is no hardware upgrade. Also, it weighs less. They're using less parts. Who knows why, other than they just want to upcharge it. But the disc one is staying the same. Also, you will be able to buy that proprietary disc drive separately as well for $80. So if you have a discless one and you want to later be able to like play PS4 games or whatever, like used or whatever, you can buy a disc drive and just put it onto your existing discless one. This, of course, will not work with the old ones. This is only for the slim stuff.
Right.
Who knows if they will release like a USB plug-in one, but I doubt it. Yeah. It doesn't seem like that would be the call. It seems like they just want you to upgrade to this model if you're going to upgrade at all.
Yeah, probably.
But they did say that this will be the PlayStation going forward, and the stock of the old models, once they sell out, that's it for those.
Oh, okay.
Hardware and manufacturing, like you're not manufacturing a PS5 that takes more parts and more production cost, and also printing a slim model on top of that. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
Get rid of it, you know. This is the first iteration we've had in almost 4 years of the console being out. By this point, the PS3 had like 2 iterations already, and the PS2 would have already had 2 iterations.
Yeah.
And both of those consoles had like 5 or 6 iterations almost. So, I mean, getting one iteration is not a huge bad thing. There is no word on a pro model or anything like that. I doubt that they're going to do a pro model at this point. It seems like that wouldn't be necessary. It's definitely necessary. Games are now back to where they were. I mean, the dream of like 4K 60 frames per second seems very far away again.
Yeah.
Even though it shouldn't be, it's just like games with new engines and stuff like that. You start putting more into a game, it takes away from things like frame rate and fidelity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, ambitions in actual gameplay are sometimes more important than the way a game looks.
Yeah.
And that's just how it be sometimes. I mean, like, there's plenty of games that have thousands and thousands of systems that play excellent that aren't lookers for sure, but the promise of these consoles definitely were the 4K 60 frames per second dream.
Yeah.
And it seems like we got a little bit of that, and then it's gone again.
Yeah, we got like a glimpse.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of leaving, we got a lot of people leaving.
I've seen a couple, yeah.
Got a lot of people leaving. We're gonna
some interesting characters leaving.
Yeah, we're gonna start with a good one.
Okay.
Not that it's good that he's leaving, but like it's a lighthearted one is the better way to put it. Come on, go talking. Bethesda executive Pete Hines is leaving the company after 24 years. The head of publishing at the Starfield dev is retiring and ready for an exciting new chapter. This is from Kotaku. Ashley Bardhan. I don't know how you say that, but that's who wrote this. Bethesda publishing head Pete Hines is retiring from the Starfield developer after 24 years, he announced on Twitter on October 16th. Hines' decision comes only a few days after Microsoft, which owns Bethesda Game Studios, was rubber stamped to complete its $69 billion Activision Blizzard buy.
Wow, 69.
Yeah. This is the quote from him. There's not much more after this to the story, but I, Pete Hines, will begin an exciting new chapter of my life, exploring interests and passions, donating my time where I can, and taking more time to enjoy my life.
Wow.
Hines wrote, "This was not a decision I came to easily or quickly, but after an amazing career culminating in the incredible launch of Starfield, it feels like the time is right." Yeah, it must be nice. I mean, the dude's been 24 years at Bethesda.
Well, that's just Bethesda. Yeah.
I think Bethesda was his whole career.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the dude that long at Bethesda, he is being hired when Morrowind is deep in development. And then staying on for Morrowind, for Oblivion, for Fallout 3, 4, Fallout New Vegas. Well, I guess New Vegas was Obsidian, but Bethesda published that game, I think. That's technically them, but it's not them. But also Pete Hines, he's head of publishing, so he does all of the publishing deals with all the other studios. So he's the guy that bounces around between everybody and, makes sure Dishonored's good and makes sure Doom is good and Wolfenstein and all those. He's the guy that does all that. And then on top of that, for the last few years that Bethesda's been a lot more front-facing, he's been kind of the hype man MC to all of Bethesda. When Bethesda puts on a press conference, it's Pete Hines doing that press conference. And then Todd Howard comes out on stage. But Pete Hines is the one running that whole show until Todd Howard comes out.
Interesting.
Pete Hines is also known to hold a lot of grudges in the industry.
Oh, really?
He is the guy that is very famous for allegedly, and put allegedly in front of all of this.
Yeah.
For when a bad review of a game comes out, blacklisting an outlet.
Wow.
Or for instance with Kotaku, Kotaku does not get codes for games anymore because of Fallout 4 leaking and them reporting on it. Stuff. I guess that's not the report of it leaking in general was from Kotaku. Was Jason Schreier at Kotaku back in 2013.
Dang.
The report of it being a game was from Kotaku. So Kotaku was one of the first instances that I can remember of them getting blacklisted. Very, very publicly blacklisted. But there's definitely been words from other people over the years that just certain outlets just don't get codes from Bethesda because Pete Hines holds a grudge because somebody gave their game a 6.5 or whatever,
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
I mean, when you're a privately owned company like that, and you call the shots like that for so long,
I guess, I mean, you want the numbers to be good, too.
Yeah.
You're trying to...
Yeah, and before Bethesda got bought by Xbox, they were very private. They were independent, technically.
Right.
Or ZeniMax was technically independent. Bethesda Game Studios is the small part. Pete Hines is all of ZeniMax publishing kind of stuff. He's not just Bethesda Game Studios. And that's important to remember. It's not just Fallout and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. Starfield's now out. Starfield was being concepted for half this dude's career.
Yeah.
It was before Fallout 4 came out when Starfield leaked. And now it's done. It's gone. It's
finally over. I don't have to deal with it anymore.
The question is, and then also, like, I'm sure, like, stocks that he had finally, like, vested and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure has a nice payout and stuff.
For sure, yeah.
And the dude's, like, old enough where he can enjoy his retirement, but, like, not old enough where he's, like, completely fucked from, like, health issues and shit like that.
Right,
like,
he definitely has years to actually
50s.
do things still.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, dude, just go enjoy that. We got a couple of other retirements, but they mentioned one thing before. Actually, we'll start with the one, and we can stay on topic. That's fine. They mentioned this, but it's finally approved after 27 episodes, I think, of talking about this now. It's finally approved from the CMA that Xbox now owns Activision Blizzard King at $69.8 billion.
Wow.
They gave out the official statement on October 13th. Yeah, dude, it's so crazy. This is insane. This is Phil Spencer. Just straight up Phil Spencer writing this on their front page. I can put on the trailer as well. This is like the biggest acquisition ever, in entertainment. Like, this is a huge deal. But Phil Spencer says, "We love gaming, we play games, create games, and know firsthand how much gaming means to all of us as individuals and collectively as a community. And today we officially welcome Activision Blizzard and their teams to Xbox. They are publishers of some of the most played and beloved franchises in gaming history across across console, PC, and mobile." My bad. All of those words blended together like how it always does when I read. From Pitfall to Call of Duty, World of Warcraft to Overwatch, Candy Crush Saga to Farm Heroes Saga, their studios have pushed the boundaries of gaming for players around the world. I have long admired the work of Activision Blizzard and King and the impact they've had in gaming, entertainment, and pop culture. Whether it was late nights spent playing Diablo 4 campaign with friends start to finish, gathering the entire family in the rec room for a weekly Guitar Hero night, or going on an epic street in Candy Crush, for some of the most memorable gaming moments came from experiences their studios have created. Everything's blending together again. This is very long.
It's
I didn't realize how
paragraphs,
long. This was, but yeah, he goes on to say, I'm a fan. So it's done. They did it.
They did the dang thing.
We've talked about this so much. It's not surprising it finally went through.
Yeah.
I feel like we've had closure on this acquisition a long time ago. This trailer is really weird that they put out because it's showing a lot of games for studios that Activision Blizzard has killed.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's not all Activision Blizzard stuff. It's like Master Chief and like Fallout 76 is in there.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out like what it was. I was like, what is this for? Because there's a lot of nothing.
Yeah, you got some World of Warcraft in there, some Candy Crush, some Halo. This is the Activision Welcome Home trailer is what it's called. Yeah. StarCraft at the end of it. There hasn't been a new StarCraft in so long.
Right.
Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 1 and 2, like Vicarious Visions doesn't exist anymore. Hopefully Xbox brings them back. Xbox doubled their size in studios with this deal.
Oh, okay.
They went from I don't remember. I think they're at like 32 studios now though.
Wow.
This is a huge deal.
Yeah.
They have been set. Phil Spencer has said that they don't have immediate plans to put everything on Game Pass right away. Like, things are going to take time and stuff, but they are working on it. Also, that Call of Duty won't be launching day one on Game Pass, of course, and everything like that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that has came out. The big question is, though, what is going to happen to the top? And we finally got word on what's going to happen to one of the worst CEOs in gaming. Bobby Kotick will remain Activision Blizzard's CEO through the end of 2023.
Okay.
Following Microsoft acquisition. Earlier today, Microsoft officially acquired Activision Blizzard for nearly $69 billion. Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick revealed he will remain CEO through the end of the year after Xbox head Phil Spencer asked him to help with the company transition. While staying through the end of the year presumes Kotick will depart the company in 2024, that remained technically unknown. However, Bloomberg Station Shire says that Kotick will depart from Activision Blizzard, on a company he took over 33 years ago, on January 1st of 2024. So there's a couple things there that I want to point out. January 1st, 2024, of him leaving, he's just, the company's bought. It seems like he literally just has to, like,
just make it then.
Yeah, like, spend vacation days.
Right.
and then he's done, like, kind of shit.
He's already got the senioritis. He's like, oh, yeah.
He's done.
Right.
He's so ready to leave, which is a good thing because people want him gone, and he knows that. I don't care what that means for him in the long run.
Yeah.
He's not just like, this isn't like, oh, Bobby Kotick's out and they're firing him. Like, this dude's getting paid out.
Right.
Millions, if not billions of dollars.
Yeah, he's set.
Like, this dude is set for life and his family's lives after that for like 2, 3, 4 decades. Yeah, the crazy thing there of Bobby Kotick bought Activision Blizzard, or just Activision. Bobby Kotick bought Activision in the early 90s for like $500,000.
Wow.
And then, yeah, nothing. Like, literally change. I mean, I guess it would have been a lot back then for video games.
I guess, yeah, at the time, right.
But
now
he bought a whole publishing company for change back then. There just wasn't acquisitions like that happening back then. That just wasn't heard of. So when somebody did that, that was crazy. But yeah, the dude led through the Tony Hawk era, through the Guitar Hero, through the Call of Duty, through the acquisition of Blizzard, through the acquisition of King, and the creation of, all of these games and stuff. Bobby Kotick has been one there from the beginning, helping create those things.
Right.
But also killing those things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And laying off thousands and thousands of people over the years, and just horrible company work, like corporate culture is the word I'm looking for there.
Yeah.
Just toxic corporate culture under him, and him being just completely fine with it.
Yeah, he let all those people go, but he's gonna walk off with, all that money.
Yeah,
and they're not gonna see any of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people are getting paid out in Activision Blizzard, but Bobby Kotick is also the same person that took $140 million as a paycheck.
Yeah.
Like, last year.
just for...
That's not including bonuses or anything.
Nope, just regular, I work here, so here's my money.
Yeah, as CEO, because Activision Blizzard is a public company now, he technically doesn't own the company anymore. I don't remember who he sold it to. Or maybe not. Maybe he does just own it. I don't know the lineage there anymore.
Yeah.
But that dude is insane. It will be insane to see how much money, if we ever know how much money gets paid out. But like,
he might not want to let people know.
Yeah.
People might try to track him down.
Yeah, he's gonna be making more money from this deal as CEO than Notch made from just selling Minecraft.
Yeah, he's gonna make more money than that guy who retired from Mario's voice.
Charles Martinet was not making that kind of money.
That's what I'm saying.
Charles Martinet makes like he probably pulls in like $100,000 a year.
That's what I mean. He's like the boy. He is Mario.
Yeah.
Since the beginning, and he's not making nearly as much money as some guy who just owned the video games stuff. You know, like.
Right. Well, it's funny you say that. We can stay on track with the Mario thing. Or we could go to the CEO thing.
I might know the Mario thing.
What is it? I mean, the game's out.
Oh, that's not what I was going to talk about.
Yeah. The Nintendo has revealed the Mario's new voice actor.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Kevin Afghani is his name.
Some kid.
Yeah, he's not a big known voice actor, but the guy who was rumored to be the voice actor is in the Mario game. He just couldn't reveal that he wasn't Mario, but he is in the Mario game. And then that dude is doing a bunch of other different types of voices and stuff. I don't remember what he's doing because he's not Mario. This relatively unknown person is Mario. Is a young kid. I think he's like 25, 26. Like, he's super young. Is now the voice of Mario. And him being that young means that he's probably going to be the voice of Mario for a very long time.
He's the new Mario, yeah.
A very long
Unless
time.
he fucks up, he's pretty much the new Mario.
Yeah.
He's this next 3-4 generations of,
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's crazy.
But I like that, though, because then it kind of it limits the... You know, that means at least in my lifetime, probably, I'll only have had 2 Marios.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
instead
for sure.
Like,
I mean, unless you want to count, like, the movies or whatever.
But, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, like, with the side-scrolling stuff, yeah, it seems like this is going to be him going forward. He's also playing Luigi, and I don't know if he's playing Wario or Waluigi yet. I don't think that's confirmed yet.
Oh, interesting.
We'll know with this new Wario game coming out.
Yeah.
But he is doing Mario and Luigi. Wario Smooth Moves is in like... No, it's Wario Move It. The Smooth Moves was the... in Japan, it's called Smooth Moves 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But in the US, it's called Move It. But that comes out in like 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll see if it's Charles Martinet in that game or if it's Kevin Afghani in the new one. But Mario's really good apparently, because Mario has a 93 on Metacritic.
Oh, the trippy new one?
The trippy new one,
Nice.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder, is amazing. People are saying, like,
that's cool.
People are. I watched like 4 hours of gameplay of this.
Yeah.
I meant to go play the demo because it's at Target now, and that was a huge deal.
Oh, okay.
But because I was sick, I just didn't end up going. I didn't want to start touching controllers and stuff.
Right.
I was going to pull up an IGN article, but Metacritic is garbage now. So let me do that real quick. But yeah, I watched like 4 hours of gameplay of this. It is so cool, man.
Is
like,
it?
I'm not a Mario dude at all, but like, it is insane how cool this game is. Like, every animation is so deliberate. Like, there's so much wacky stuff going on. There's so many little secrets and stuff in every single part of the world, from the overworld to like the side-scrolling sections. The Wonder Seeds are so cool, like the way they transform and everything like that.
Yeah.
There is so much of this game where like they just use a gameplay mechanic for 10 seconds and never use it again.
Nice.
Just like, we had this cool idea, you're gonna do it real quick. Wasn't that fun? It's gone now. And there's so much of that happening, and so much cool shit like that. The build up to this game, they said that, yeah, they gave us, they said, we pitched them a new Mario, and they said go for it, and they said, well, just make it and it can come out when it comes out. So they've been working on this game for like 7 years or something like that, and it shows.
That's cool though.
It really shows. It's real. It's cool. It's insane how good this looks. It's a bummer that it's on the Switch.
Yeah.
Not to say that the Switch is a bad system. It's just it's underpowered now, and I think if it was just had a little bit more juice, it could have just been a little bit more.
Yeah.
But this game is essentially perfect, I think, as a Mario game.
Wow. Yeah, I was really worried that it was just going to be like all hype.
Yeah, right?
And then just end up being like another Mario game with some goofiness.
Yeah. Right. This is so much more than what it could have ever been.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know who's in charge of Mario now, but like, it's somebody new, and they're doing some crazy ass shit.
They're doing a bunch of drugs.
Yeah, dude. It's insane. Here's this snippet from Ryan McCaffrey's review over at IGN. IGN gave it a 9. Super Mario Bros. Wonder looks and plays like the true next step for 2D Mario games. Wonder effects change each stage in both surprising and delightful ways. The Flower Kingdom makes for a vibrant, refreshing change of pace, and Elephant Mario steals the show. The Elephant Mario is not a Wonder Seed thing. It's like a straight up power up thing, like a Tanuki suit or a fire flower.
Raccoon.
Yeah, exactly. Where like it's kind of like a block smasher kind of mechanic, where if you have a whole bunch of brick blocks and stuff, and then if you're Elephant Mario, you can ram through them and do like butt stomps and everything like that. That's really cool. He also has like a water shooting mechanic to him, where kind of like Mario Bros. Sunshine, or like even Super Mario Odyssey, I guess, has the water thing as well, where you can shoot water on the map to do secret things or to hurt enemies from far away or stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because of Wonder Seeds and the flowers talking to you and everything, like, all of this, you're in the Flower Kingdom, so all of this fauna and stuff has, like, a major part to it as well. So, like, you might see, like, a patch of flowers, then if you sprinkle some water on it, it might grow, like, a vine up and bring you to a secret area or something like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff like that. Or using the water to, like, spit it out in a random area, and then, like, it hits a hidden, an invisible brick, and, like, rubs the invisible paint off it, and then shows, like, a new platform. Yeah, like, that's stuff cool. Like that. And that's both in the main thing and in the overworld. The overworld has so much weird, cool secrets and stuff like that.
Oh, really? Oh, man. I'm gonna have to watch some stuff.
Yeah, I only saw just the first world, and there's, like, 6 or 7. Or maybe 8. I think there might be 8, like normal Mario. But there's a lot more different parts of the kingdom that I didn't see.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not playing it, I would like to also watch somebody play through it.
Yeah, that might end up being a game that I just watch someone else play, but still, it does sound really cool.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I wish I was good at platformers, man. I'm just
That's
not
my
good at
thing.
them.
Is like I'm not the best at them, and I never had like a ton of platformer experience.
Yeah.
So I don't even.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy them every once in a while.
Yeah, like as a kid, I did have Mario games. Like,
Yeah.
I had a Game Boy and I played Super Mario Bros. On it and like Mario World 3. But yeah, I wasn't ever good at them. Like, I have that core memory of Mario, but I don't have like the love for Mario that a lot of Mario fans do.
Right. Yeah. Same.
Like, he was just another part of my childhood kind of thing. But there's another game that came out, and it's probably a game that you will be playing soon. It's also really good, apparently.
Okay.
Marvel Spider-Man 2 is sitting at a 90 on Metacritic.
I was literally talking about this last night because we were replaying 1.
Yeah, it seems like people are having a lot of fun with this. There's a couple of 7s I've seen, which have brought down the Metacritic. It seems like the combat's just a little bit too much samey.
Yeah.
And that gets a little bit too repetitive.
That's understandable. There's some differences, but there's only so much difference you can make.
Right.
With it being the same characters and.
Right. The big difference now is the wingsuit is a big thing. People have been both ways on that as well, where it's not as gratifying as the swinging thing, and it kind of makes swinging around the city like. Not it just makes it so it's you don't have to, but I've heard people go both ways on that, where like, oh, because I don't have to swing, I only use the wingsuit, and that brought my entertainment down. And then I've heard the other side where like, because it gave me the choice, I stuck to swinging, and I had so much fun.
Oh, can you not swing in
You can do both
at the same time? Yeah.
Yeah, you can swing to do a wingsuit and do a swing.
Yeah. So what would be the issue? I don't know.
Because the wingsuit is straight up flying and it's faster. So when you break into a swing, it kills all your momentum.
Okay.
Yeah, and the way that the wingsuit works is like you're going through like wind tunnels and shit like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like,
I saw the wind
in,
tunnel
currents.
scenes. They like circles pop up or whatever to like catch a boost.
Yeah, and it's weird how they made it always comes back to flying through rings.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't mind it when it's like a mini game or whatever, but when I'm just traveling, you don't have to show me the wings. Just do a little air breeze, and
Yeah, it does have the air breeze thing. The rings are like, I think, to represent like where it's boosting you.
Yeah.
I think the idea is that you could like bounce in and out, just like catch a boost real quick,
right,
and jump out. But if you wanted to like get into the stream and like put your controller down, you could do that and follow the stream. From what I gathered, it's not flying necessarily. It is like the Batman glide.
It's like
thing.
A squirrel.
Yeah, where you're like dipping and stuff like that for air.
Like a paraglide.
But it's still apparently so much faster than the swing. The fast travel in this game is a lot nicer, is what I've heard.
See, that was my thing with that. Also, they have the water thing where you can surf on the water. I don't know if you saw that, but they have like
yeah, I did see that.
There's like an ability. I don't know if it's like right out the back or you have to unlock it, but you can like instead of landing in the water, you surf across it. But the fast travel thing, I think is really cool as for like how they did it, where you can just pick wherever and then Spider-Man just kind of swings onto the screen or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, this is probably one of the coolest games to travel around in.
Right.
Like, out of any game you can play, I've never
the first one had fast travel as well.
It did, but like, I never used it because it's just so much fun to swing around. Like, I literally play that game sometimes just to swing around. Kind of like back in the day when I would play Driver just to drive for hours.
I agree. Definitely. It's not like this map is double the size. It's not triple
I guess
the
like
size.
if I was on a time
Right.
crunch, or if I was just impatient and I wanted to get to that next boss or whatever, maybe. But even then, like when I played the first one, I can't remember a time where I was just like, especially because as you upgrade, your swinging and all your abilities get more, they get faster and more intense.
Right.
And you get more mobility options.
Well,
That it's like,
first one was also so inconvenient to fast travel, right? You had to, like, go into the subway and then get on the subway, and then you go to that one
that's
part.
true. I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
This one, you put your map, and then you place the marker anywhere, and then it zooms in, and then it zooms out, and Spider-Man.
Yeah. But again,
it's
which
almost
is
seamless.
Cool. It is cool, and I like that. And I really liked the bus thing just because it looked natural. Like, oh, he had to go on the bus, and it has a little bus cutscene, or the train, or whatever, I kind of hope they keep that just for like the lulz, because I really like that. Spider-Man has to travel, like a regular human, but at the same time, again, I just have too much fun swinging. Right. I don't need that. I hope that they take this fast travel method and put it into future games that suck at traveling,
This is definitely something Insomniac specifically has been working towards.
Yeah.
Like with the Ratchet and Clank thing, where you're in one world and then you open up a portal and then it shoots you into a different planet completely. This is definitely... I'm not saying that not other companies could do it, but this is definitely a product of what they've been working on.
Right.
I agree. It does seem pointless, but like the way it's been explained, I guess, is that there's so many more side quests, and those side quests are like story thing that like sometimes you just need just for story's sake. You want to get. So you're not like getting bogged down by like
that's what I'm saying.
Random
Like if
crimes
there
on
is
the Ray and stuff like that. You're like, oh, I gotta go rescue fucking this old lady's cat across the city. Let me just fast travel there, get the cat real quick, travel back.
Especially if you've like, if it's literally on the other corner of the map, or like, you have completed, a bunch of that quadrant, so like swinging through isn't even. I can see reasons why, for sure, but I love swinging in Spider-Man games.
Yeah.
I was just talking about this last night, because, like I said, we were playing the first one again, like, I'll do that forever. If it was just a game of me swinging around, I could probably do that for a few hours alone, like that. I'm obsessed. I mean, that's the reason why I played Apex for so long, because you could swing around with the robot guy, because it's fucking...
Yeah, no, definitely. There's a good swinging and stuff, and all that's still here. People are a lot more happier with the swinging and stuff in this, and it's still here. It's just they gave you a lot more options, and gamers will always choose the path of least resistance. That is just, if you put it in front of them, that's just what they're going to do. If you have a way to break the game, that's what they're going to do. And I get it. Like, do it all, like, if you... I don't know. I was gonna say, why not? But that's it. Why not? Why not do it all if you can?
I mean, for sure, yeah. I mean, if you have the ability, and it is cool. I think it's really cool how he just like swings off screen onto the, like your it's very smooth transitions.
It's so fast. It's crazy how fast that loads. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, because it's literally like a pause screen.
It's not even like
you pause, pull up your map, and unpause, and it's like you're there.
Yeah,
basically, yeah.
But it's within like, if you know the map and stuff like that, if you're menuing right, like how Souls players or whatever do, like it's within seconds.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
yeah.
Not even like without thinking about it, like do, and then you're there. It's like crazy. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I was gonna bring up a review real quick and just scroll down the bottle of the IGN thing, so they give me the little the little snippet, but it reviewed very highly. Where is it? Oh, they actually gave it a lower score than I thought. IGN gave it an 8. It's from Simon Cardy. Marvel Spider-Man 2 delivers Insomniac's best tale yet, and despite its open world falling short, it's reliably fun superhero power trip. Yeah, it seems on par to what I've heard and stuff like that. The open world falling short part is, I think, because it's the same area with a little bit more, they didn't do enough with it.
Right.
They did do a lot more like side like story quest stuff, but there's still like there's not a lot happening around other than like a random crime is still the same random crime, you know?
Right. Which I mean that's
and the random crimes are the same.
The only issue with like Spider-Man or any kind of game like that where it's like it's in that is I mean they're in New York or whatever, you know, like that it's always going to be the same tower and the same
right, but even as New York, like it still has this is a city, but there's nothing city-wise to do.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's true.
You go down to ground level as Spider-Man, there is a lot more in this time around where there's like photo ops and stuff like that, but like every store is like dead windows, you know. And stuff like that.
It would have been nice if they'd make it like a little bit of a GTA type, you know.
It's like a little bit more to the ground level. You know,
why can't you be
random enemies?
Just Miles Morales and walk around with no you know.
Exactly.
And go play chess at the park or something.
And there totally could be like some cool things. Yeah, that would be cool actually. Like some, because you do have like the MJ stuff is still in this game apparently.
Right.
Like
so you're not
still like sneaking around as Metal Gear Solid as her.
Yeah.
And like there is like weird Peter Miles dynamics where you're like bouncing around between the two of them in story parts.
Yeah.
And like I want to be Miles right now in the open world. Oh, I'm gonna change real quick into Peter and stuff like that. And then Peter's going through like there's regular Peter Parker and then there's moody Venom Peter Parker. Like
yeah, right.
And there seems to be what I have heard on this front is that there's a shit ton of mini games and stuff in this.
Oh, okay.
There are like weird like side little games and stuff like that. Which that seems fun. Like you go to this is in the trailer, but they're at the little county fair thing, and there's like a basketball mini game where you shoot hoops with Harry, and then there's like a darts and stuff like that. Like those types of games are there. But that's in a story segment part, and it's not like just an open world.
You can't
thing.
just go back and
right
shoot hoops again, or maybe you can somewhere else.
Maybe you can somewhere else, but like it's not an organic thing that you just stumble upon that's happening kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there could totally be like an arcade somewhere like that, but that's one building in the thousands of empty buildings in this city.
Right.
And not that you need to go in every building in this city, but like...
But it is a city, and no, I agree. There should be some, like, something.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like, because we don't own the licenses to any of the buildings in New York, we're just not going to put anything in New York.
Right.
It's really weird.
Which is weird because it's like, sure, it's New York, but it's, you know, Spider-Man New York. So, like, you could make up some stuff.
Right. And, like, the way, just like how they rip out buildings, like, they don't put a lot in the areas that those buildings are ripped out of.
And like the Avengers Tower, for instance.
The Avengers Tower.
You put that there.
Yeah.
It's always been there in every Spider-Man game. Why can't I never go inside?
Go inside it. Yeah, you can climb to the top of it.
You can always climb to the top. There's usually something up there waiting for you.
And guess what? It's also a trophy this time around.
Yeah.
Just like the other two games.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, look, you found that tower that's really easy to
really,
find.
yeah, and then you climb all the way to the top, and then you jump down, and that's fun. But that's like the big thing in the city, and then the Statue of Liberty, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Like Golden Gate Park, or not Golden Gate Park, but fucking Central Park.
Yeah.
Is there, but the Chrysler Building's gone. I'm pretty sure the Empire State Building's not there. Trump Tower's not there. Like,
right.
Those big buildings aren't there for sure. Rockefeller Plaza is there though.
Yeah.
Along with the statue, I think, but that statue might be public domain.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you go around in the first one and take pictures of like.
Yeah.
The stuff. So there's a few landmarks.
And that's there as well. There's a lot of picture taking in this. There's a lot more photo opportunities.
Oh, like stuff. That's another building. They put fucking Doctor Strange's house in the first one.
And you can't go in.
Yeah, all you do is take a photo and they're like, and then he makes some sort of quirky thing, like hinting that, oh, this is Doctor Strange's house, which is obvious. It's
right.
Like, I've seen it, but.
And I don't know if it's that they just didn't get the rights to that stuff or what. Because Spider-Man's already in a weird Marvel spot where it's Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, but it's a Marvel property.
Right.
So, like, there's this weird... Or Sony owns the entertainment rights to Spider-Man, and Marvel owns the comic book character rights to Spider-Man.
Right.
So there's, like, this weird split, and, like... Spider-Man references things, but they don't mix enough. Where, like, the Spider-Man is in the Marvel movies, right? But a lot of the Marvel characters aren't in the Spider-Man movies.
Right, yeah.
And that's because it's a Sony thing versus a... Yeah, that's why Into the Spider-Verse, for instance, doesn't have any other Marvel property in it other than Spider-Man.
Right. I was actually reading that the game is going to be included in the overall MCU.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's going to be, like, a part of it. Maybe not, like, they might not do anything directly. Maybe they'll put something in the game, but because of In the Spider-Verse, it's like...
It's all
it's
connected
technically
now.
another...
Right. Well, the suits are in this game. Every single Spider-Man suit you could think of is in this game.
Nice. Yeah, that was
including,
one of my favorite things.
Yeah. All the MCU suits are in this game. All the Miles Morales suits from Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, that's all in here. Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Pig, like, all that shit's in here. Spider-Pig, I don't know. Spider-Pig is probably referenced in here.
I was going to say, because that's still, like...
But... They did some weird ass suits in that first game, and there is like quadruple the amount of suits in this game, and then
really fun suits.
I think they said 63 different suits for Peter.
Wow, that's just Peter.
Yeah, and then each of those suits have like color variants and stuff like that too. Or like 5 or 6 color variants.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot.
How will I ever decide?
Yeah. I would have ended on Spider-Man. Spider-Man's like the good thing. I guess this is a good thing. Last time we talked about this, it got pretty heated, but we got some fallout from the Unity thing.
Oh, okay.
Unity CEO John Riccitiello steps down after pricing blow up. The dude's gone. Scared? Yeah, dude. Yeah,
He's
I
like,
guess.
Oh shit! I really made a mistake.
Yeah.
I need to go home.
That's crazy.
I'm drunk. I need to go home.
Yeah, this is from Wired.
He like retired?
Who wrote this? Yeah.
Does he get paid for that?
Megan Farrow-Messi. I imagine he's getting paid out from like stocks and stuff. Because he doesn't own Unity. Unity president CEO John Riccitiello is retiring from the company, as well as from his role as chairman and member of the company board of directors, effective immediately. The company has appointed James Whitehurst as interim. Is that how you say that? As substitute chief executive officer.
Temporary.
Yeah.
Temporary.
Riccatello is expected to advise Unity to ensure a smooth transition as Unity begins a comprehensive search for a new CEO. The company said in a press release announcing the move. Riccatello's sudden retirement comes mere weeks after a massively unpopular move on Unity's behalf to change its fee structure for eponymous cross-platform game engine. Its pricing would have included a new runtime fee, a 20-cent charge to developers every time a player installed the game after it reached 200,000 downloads, and $200,000 in revenue. That change would have taken place retroactively, meaning developers with games already in progress or have been even released would be included.
So all that's null and void now, basically?
Wrong.
Okay.
Hundreds of developers released statements denouncing Unity, with even some calling for Riccatello's recognition or resignation. Riccatello's resignation's a fun
tongue twister, yeah.
The uproar from across the game industry they don't say anything necessarily of we're running it back, but what he says is we simply don't trust them to stick to their word. Or no, this is from developer. We simply don't trust them. We don't trust them to update their engine in ways that affect us as a PC console developers in a positive way. I think they have done irreparable damage to the brand and for game developers in general. The walkback isn't going to fix it. The walkbacks that they have done are basically like one step back while keeping their toe across the line.
Right.
Kind of thing where they're like, basically what they said was, okay, we're not going to charge for downloads anymore, or for installs anymore. We're going to charge on a purchase basis. And then that got muddy if it was early access or whatever. There's still a lot of unknowns about if this fee is going to exist and stuff.
Right.
There's still a lot of uncertainty with Unity, and even if things begin to be certain, it seems like they've done so much damage to themselves.
Yeah.
That
would they even?
Nobody's going to go back to Unity unless if they majorly discount what they're doing, which they won't because they're losing money.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if Unity is a thing within the next 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, with him quitting and everything, they might as well just start divvying out whatever's left and call it a day.
Unity existed before Riccatello. Riccatello was the CEO of EA through the EA years of EA being the worst company to work for.
Oh, okay.
Riccatello is that CEO. He's been doing this for a while to a bunch of different companies.
Oh, nice. They're just letting him.
Yeah, he's been at Unity for almost 20 years though.
Yeah.
A long time. But he's been basically killing the company slowly, from what I understand. I'm not a game developer, so I don't know all of the crazy stuff that's gone on to stab game developers in the back. They use that platform.
Right.
But from what I understand, on top of it just being a mess customer service wise and stuff like that, it's just bad decision after bad decision coming out of that company. So now you have bad decisions with developers, and then developers not getting the customer service that they need to make their games good. And then because of that, anything with Unity gets tied to subpar products in the eyes of other people. Even though there's plenty of great games that are made in Unity. When I see Unity behind a game, I'm like, hold the phone real quick.
Yeah, right.
Let's check this out. But you have plenty of people now that are the people who made Slay the Spire. They were working on a new game, and they said, we're just fucking changing our engine.
Yeah.
We're mid-development changing our engine completely. Fuck this Unity shit.
Which is crazy.
That's insane. Cult of the Lamb, you remember, came out with a statement where we hate this Unity shit so much. January 1st, when all this shit goes down, we're just ripping our games off stores. You won't be able to buy our game anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we just... That's insane. It's insane kind of stuff to, like, throw at developers like that.
When you do something like that, yeah.
You're just killing their bottom line.
You gotta make moves.
And, like, yeah, somebody, like... Stardew Valley, for instance, right? That's created by one dude. And it just so happened to blow up into this major success. But that one dude, like, gets 10,000 downloads and now has to pay 20 cents on every single download.
Right.
And because it's made in Unity, like, you just killed all that dude's profits.
Everything.
Right
yeah.
Everything that dude was going to make. And he's
still making, like, DLC and stuff for, like, free.
Right.
Still to this day. So that would only increase the download and then negate he would make no money.
Because we don't know if this will include DLC downloads, demo downloads. I think they have walked back the demo download thing. But
that would be crazy.
That was on the table too.
Chunk of change for just a demo.
That was on the table. Anything that was made in Unity and required an install would be charged 20 cents on that install. That's insane.
Yeah, that's gross.
But it's cool to see that there is some repercussions to all of this, and we'll see where the next CEO will take this, because this is a huge dumpster fire to put out.
I mean, hopefully, whoever accepts it is hopefully seeing what's happened.
Yeah.
Is able to, like, okay, this is what they really want, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Who wants to work for Unity now, too? Like, somebody who is that, like, tuned into the game industry, who's dying to be the CEO of Unity.
Someone with, hopefully someone with some vision. That's all we can ask, I guess.
Right. Like, Bobby Kotick leaving Activision as CEO, like, they're gonna find another CEO figurehead type to run just the Activision branch of Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, you can't double your size in studios and put that all on that same one person. Like, without you definitely need that workload to even out. Unity is one company, so I don't know where that. Oh my, it's gonna be crazy what happens in the next dev cycle of things, but
if they even do it, like you said, I mean, they might not even be a thing within the next few years. It could just be. Yeah, I was looking for another one and I couldn't find it, so I was like, well,
it's all right. I think an important thing about Unity is these, like, launch day DDoS attacks on big companies become, like, even more financially hitting for them. This is no longer people not being able to play a game on launch.
Right. Well,
it's people repetitively downloading from multiple OS systems, costing them 20 cents a download.
20 cents per download, right? Yeah. So you will have, like, rather than review bombs, you have download bombs and stuff like that, where, like,
which was already damaging.
Yeah, and there's been developers on the other end of that where have been like, fucking install our game as much as you want. Like, just keep installing that shit and just run Unity into the ground. Like, it's like, because, I mean, if you want to hurt anyone, that's going to be the way to do it. You're going to charge per download. Downloads are the only way you're going to be able to fight back. And that sucks on both ends. That's scary on both ends. Like,
right. Yeah, we shouldn't have to play these, like, mind games just to fucking...
Just to play our video games.
Just to play a video game, yeah, right. The world is already hard enough, okay? Can I just play a video game?
Every time you reinstall a game, it'll be a political issue.
Right,
Because you're worried about the developer's bottom line. That's insane. That's insane to put on any
It's like, I want to support you, but I also feel bad.
Right. I feel bad for buying your game because I can't download it without charging you.
Yeah, it's a very catch-22.
It's so strange.
And no one's really winning except the company, and then...
Not even the company's winning on that.
Not even, really, yeah.
No, nobody trusts them anymore. That's crazy. That's all the news I have for the last 2 weeks, though.
Nice.
We got through some big chunks, Some big things happen.
Yeah, I surprisingly saw some of those before. Usually, a lot of this is like news to me too, and I'm like keeping up, you know.
Yeah,
I was actually kind of in the know this week.
I'm trying to get better at like sharing news and like talking about it.
I'm trying to get better at reading news because I'm very selfish with my time, and usually it just consists of me playing video games and writing. Right. So I've been trying to like be a mature adult and read. Things.
Well, all I do is listen to like 40-year-old dudes talk about video game news.
That's true. I've been trying to get more into like, not necessarily into like podcasts, but just like some sort of stream of news into my life, you know?
Yeah.
Even if it's just about one topic, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
Just something to keep the brain...
Keep it going.
Fresh. Yeah.
For sure. Well, speaking of things in life, you got anything coming up? Anything cool? Are we gonna have to miss another podcast next week, or
maybe
you got a tour next week?
I have a show. No, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving the state until I get my breaks done. I was supposed to do that last week, but I saved that money for vacation instead.
I need to do Carson too, man.
But I have a couple Halloween shows, and I'm doing nothing but Halloween jokes.
Hell yeah.
They're probably not going to be good because I only do them once a month out of the year, so they're very rarely rehearsed.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can only write so many jokes in a month, so... but that's the fun of it. And because it's Halloween, it's like, ooh,
seems like
extra spooky. You get to watch this guy, you know...
Do scary things.
Do scary things.
Are you going to be wearing a costume?
I have my Pizza Planet costume.
Oh, yeah.
And I also have my witch hat, but I might go back to the store and get another thing I was looking at.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure yet because, like, I don't want this... You can't really wear a mask or anything when you do stand-up because, you know, facial features and, like, being able to hear you is important. But I also don't want to be, like... too distracting, you know, be something that's just like too obnoxious. So I'm weighing some options, but I might just go with my Pizza Planet stuff again because it's comfy and it's easy. Yeah,
that's not a bad idea. I should wear that and go deliver pizzas in a Pizza Planet outfit. That'd be great.
That'd be cool.
It'd be fun. I don't have much coming up. Toy Story 3. We'll finish that this week. I'll put all those videos up.
Yeah.
Since I'm going to be doing stretches of series again rather than random videos throughout the week, because I was on a schedule where it was like a rotation of 5 different series going at once, so it was like every single day of the week was a different game. But then once I start missing a day of upload, then you know, it's like 2 weeks, 3 weeks in between one episode to another episode of a game. Right. And it's just...
Maybe like 2 or 3 games, but that's a lot.
Yeah, it was getting too lost in the sauce. Mm-hmm. And I just want to be able to play more video games again and put it out more frequent. So that'll be a thing. I don't know what Halloween game is going to be taking the Halloween slot this year, but we'll figure that out. If you want something to do, you should go back and listen to more podcasts. Go check us out on social medias and everything. It's all down below. If you want to support the podcast, you can donate to the Cash App down below. I'm still slacking on other ways to donate to us, but we'll have that eventually. There is the Pokemon store down below as well. If you want something physical, you can buy it from me, and you'll get a Pokemon card. You can use that code down below to save $10 off on your first purchase. That's not just for my store. That's for any store. Just, you know, we need microphones. We need stuff. We need upgrades. So anything helps. And $1 here, $1 there. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Praise the Run, episode 27.
Yeah.
I'm Ben, the MrBenShow. Yeah. Patrick. Sorry, I was trying to exit us out before we said goodbye. But bye.
Oh, sorry. I just like praising it, but I'm like a little off kilter, so my arm was like
way over there,
way over here. But yeah, do all that stuff he said and love us.
Bye, guys.